frozen pipes can cause serious damage. That's why Absolute Restoration is giving away free faucet covers to our community while supplies last. Installing them is easy. Just slide the foam sleeve over your outdoor faucet and secure it snugly. Also remember to disconnect hoses, open cabinet doors under sinks, and let faucets drip during extreme cold. Call or text to check availability, and from our family to yours, please stay warm and protected.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 6.
Well, welcome into the Room to Room Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor from Mississippi Live Weather at 6. And yes, a beautiful day today. But as we mentioned at 5 o'clock, we are awaiting those rain chances heading into our Wednesday. That's the big headline as we head into the next 24 hours. But as we track the rest of the story, of course, enjoy the drive for now, but also enjoy those warmer temperatures that are going to be in place for Wednesday. That's due to all the moisture being in the area, allowing for a more comfortable start to the day. But once that cold front fully moves into the area, the real cold settles in, and that's what we'll get to enjoy as we wrap up the work week. There is still some good with it, and we'll look at all of that in much more detail here in just a moment. As we, of course, get into that extended forecast, one of the forecasts I know that we are all counting down to is our basketball forecast. As you can see, our game of the week going to be happening this Friday night. I know last week was Thursday. That was due to, of course, that severe weather threat on our Friday. But this week, we're back to our regularly scheduled program, and we get to enjoy some basketball. High school basketball. We're going to be doing girls basketball this week because guys had last week, as you see on the highlight reel in the background. So as we take a look at that forecast, shaping up to be a good one with some cold conditions. But where we're sitting at currently with that vote, of course, we are in a pretty tight battle between Tishomingo County versus North Pontotoc and Boonville versus Belmont. Currently sitting both at 41%. And of course, Itawamba, Houston, Morville, Amory, they're not out of the question either. But as you can see, there is a clear head-to-head matchup that folks are favoring, and that is all decided by you. I'm curious, looking at this now, just how much or how close we sit. So 154, oh, it just updated. 154, well, that doesn't make sense. Okay, it does. 154 to 157. Guys, this is a very tight vote. Of course, not posted too long ago, so we're still in the early stages, but go ahead and submit those votes, and we will announce tonight at 10 who that winner is and where we are headed this Friday night. And again, we appreciate the good folks at Langston a lot for allowing us to go have our Mississippi Live Game of the Week. And as you look at that forecast, 43 by first tip, halftime 42, final buzzer 41 degrees. I would argue that's honestly a bit too warm based off how temperatures are shaping up right now. As we look at the first 12 for tonight, that's comparable to what our forecast will be, at least on that previous graphic. I mean, 50 degrees by 7, 43 by 10, and then 41 by 1. Into those early morning hours, it's not going to be as cold as things have been sitting at the past few days, not even reaching the 30s, nevertheless the 20s in some spots. So we're sitting low 40s heading out the door tomorrow morning. Limited chances of moisture, 7 a.m. You see 20% coverage, that gradually climbing as the day goes on, and we'll see that here in just a moment. Let's take a look outside. Rolling forward, giving us a great shot of some of that cloud cover, but also the clear sky still in place. 49 degrees, and those dew points are climbing, currently sitting in the mid-30s. By 10 o'clock tonight, we could be seeing those sit in the 40s for some parts down in South Mississippi. Batesville, 52 degrees, dew point even higher, 37 degrees. And there you're still getting those partly cloudy skies, and of course a beautiful sight there as that sun continues to set in Panola County. Fulton, roadways, not too bad. Hey, look at Itawamba County showing up, showing out, and getting a good forecast in the process. 54 degrees, dew point still showing off those dry conditions, but it is going to be another comfortable night across North Mississippi. Our Mama Justice Doppler radar showcasing those dry conditions, as have been the case all day long, putting this on that 12-hour loop. Love when I'm able to do that because it means nothing really happened today. And as we had an active pattern last week, I think we'll definitely take these quiet conditions that we're getting right now at 6 o'clock on our Tuesday. Surface analysis showing why this is happening in a bit more detail. And as we talked about at 5 o'clock, there are two systems we're watching for this rainfall. So high pressure continues to drive our forecast, but you see that cold front that's up north in parts of Nebraska, Missouri, and Illinois. That's our forecast heading into our Sunday. Some of those moderate showers lining up right along that frontal boundary and giving us those chances for our Wednesday. But that's not the first chance. Our first chance will actually come with this disturbance down south in Texas, wrapping up some of that moisture into Louisiana and about to be Mississippi. And that's where some of those isolated showers do push into our forecast for our southernmost counties for the start of our Wednesday. All right, let's go ahead and zoom it back in here just a bit to the North Mississippi and get a better view on what is going to be taking place overnight. So pay attention to these times. 10 p.m. on our Tuesday, getting those moderate showers forming around Jackson and Yazoo City. By the time we get into 11, 12, even 1 o'clock, look at the showers that are pushing through North Mississippi at this point. We're talking Attala, Winston, Noxubee, Holmes, even out there towards Sunflower County as these showers work their way on through. Now, these will not have any significant weather with it. And honestly, rainfall totals are about a couple hundredths of an inch, maybe a tenth of an inch. So this is not going to be a significant output, but nonetheless, rain chances are in the forecast. But fortunately, that is during those overnight hours where the vast majority of us should be sleeping. 6 a.m. though, when we're waking up and heading out the door, some of that moisture lingering in the forecast. But what we're really starting to get is that front push into North Mississippi. So we're talking to folks in the 5 o'clock hour about, heading out, getting some outdoor plans done from 8 to 10. Well, unfortunately, 6 a.m. still getting a few of those showers out there as far north as Monroe County, but that main batch of showers and storms, not storms, more showers and heavier showers, by 9 a.m. already pushing there into Monroe, Itawamba, Clay, even parts of Webster, Montgomery, and Holmes County. So that's 9 a.m. on our Wednesday, that front gradually working the rest of its way on through, and by the time we get towards that early afternoon, rain chances still in the forecast, unfortunately. Now, those rain chances, they're not going to be overwhelming at any point, and it's not going to be highly impactful either. What we'll see is about 30 to 40% coverage throughout the majority of our day. So folks at school probably going to be seeing those showers take place, potentially driving through it on the way to school. We'll see that in just a moment on our school day forecast. But even as we wrap up the day, those chances still linger, and so folks need to have that umbrella and rain jacket on standby so we can stay dry in all of these showers. But as you take a look at temperatures, going to be starting off pretty mild, or at least relatively mild from what we've been getting the past few mornings. And during the afternoon, 51 degrees. No complaints about that. Very seasonable for this time of year, but after Wednesday, hope you're ready for the cold. That's one of the things we'll be talking about coming up in the next 60 is just how cold we're talking about. Ever felt Canada? Yeah, it's going to feel like that down here in North Mississippi. We'll talk the latest details on that temperature forecast coming up here in the Room to Room Weather Center for Mississippi Live Weather at 6 in the next 60.
When choosing a dentist for our family, Tupelo Smiles was the answer for us. They greet us with warm smiles right when we walk in the door, and they make us feel so welcome. We love Tupelo Smiles.
As a bankruptcy firm, Mitchell, Cunningham & Bowling realizes many people are worried about their finances. We're here to guide you through the next steps to restart your life with easy video appointments. New clients don't have to leave home to get information about becoming debt-free. Also, convenient in-office appointments are available at the low cost of $340 upfront for a Chapter 13. You can be on your way to being debt-free. Contact Mitchell, Cunningham & Bowling today or visit our website at mcdebtfree.com. We are here to help you.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
This portion of Mississippi Live Weather is presented by Little's Jewelers.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Welcome back here to the Room to Room Weather Center, and thank you for watching Mississippi Live Weather at 6. See some folks there in the chat, and we welcome you in to just watch what should be a great forecast moving forward, giving us exactly what we need on Wednesday, and then some drier conditions we get to enjoy as well. Again, breaking that down in just a moment. Let's first start with what we're seeing out the door right now. 54 degrees in Smithville, a little bit of that hue on the horizon left over from that sunset, but 54 degrees, pairing that with those dew points in the low 30s should tell you everything you need to know. Dry air still overhead, allowing for some great Tuesday evening conditions. So honestly, make some plans outside. It's only 6 o'clock. There's still plenty of evening to enjoy. Mabin, 48 degrees as well. As you see it close to Oktibbeha County, 34 degrees is the dew point out there. Actually, Webster County, apologize for that. But either way, going to be a cooler forecast tonight, and those dry conditions do try to stick around at least for the first couple of hours of our Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. Now, what we're getting right now, Cleveland kind of showing that off in a little bit more detail. Look at those breezy conditions coming out of the south. 8 miles an hour, so still about 5 to 10 miles an hour. And what that's doing is it's resupplying all of that moisture down south to us here in North Mississippi. Why that matters? Well, we need moisture in order for those showers to form. And so that's basically setting the scene for our more rainy pattern of our Wednesday. Not talking severe weather, not even talking about storms, just going to be those rain showers. Temperatures right now across the Magnolia State, 54 degrees New Albany, 50 right around Grenada, 51 Belzona, and 54 there towards Louisville. Compare this to 24 hours ago. Yeah, things have definitely trended in the right direction. Take a look at all those double-digit increases that we have seen across the northern half of the Magnolia State with a near 10 to 12 to 13 to 15 degree difference. Whew. Yeah, summer, are you here yet? No, definitely far from that. But at least things have trended in the right direction. But why they have is because there is some of that destabilization allowing for those showers to form on our Wednesday. So our Mama Justice operator, I've been talking about showers, not seeing any showers right now. So that's what I mean. Enjoy the forecast we have at this moment because that does change into our Wednesday and unfortunately will not last forever. So our day planner this evening shaping up to be a good one. Once again, 8 p.m., 47 degrees. By 10, we're sitting around 43 and midnight tonight. Not dropping off too much from there, 42 degrees. That's pretty much where we sit heading into the early hours of our Wednesday as well. Still those 5 to 10 mile an hour winds coming out of the south, allowing for that moisture to, again, move into the area and potentially bring us a few showers as a result. Futurecast going to highlight that in a little bit more detail. So by 10 o'clock, we are going to see partly cloudy skies move over the top of North Mississippi. But behind those partly cloudy conditions, there you're getting some of that moisture moving in. Light showers moving in south of Highway 82 by midnight, 1, 2 a.m., and those linger into the early morning hours as well as we get up and head out the door. So unfortunately for folks Webster County, Clay County, and for folks south of there, going to have that rain gear ready. But then we move into our next weather maker, and that's for folks on the northwest part of our viewing area. DeSoto, Tate, and Tunica County, been mentioning you a few times. Because by 6 a.m., there you're getting those light showers already starting to form close to Olive Branch, Senatobia, and even there towards West Helena. So let's go ahead and look at those low temperatures because this is going to be a big story, not for Wednesday, but into that extended pattern as we get that cold air overhead. But for your Wednesday, enjoy it because we're only sitting in the low 40s with 41 Oxford, Holly Springs, and Senatobia, 42 Grenada, Greenwood, and even down south there in Louisville, we're sitting at around 43 degrees. So things are sitting much better than where they have been the past few days and definitely where they will be heading into the rest of our work week. So your school bus forecast, still have a layer. It's going to be cool, but not as cold as things have been. And honestly, pair that layer with a rain jacket because we want to stay dry in the process, especially for folks that are being picked up close to, again, Senatobia, Tunica, or close to the South Haven area, dealing with those showers up there. Drop off, those showers trend through the rest of Mississippi. So that's where if it's not raining in the morning, more than likely will be by the afternoon or at some point during the day, and we want you guys to stay dry and stay prepared, so go ahead and have that rain gear on standby. Let's take that Futurecast through the rest of your Wednesday, and what we're seeing right now is, again, some heavier sections on the middle part of this rainfall, and I know that's a weird term to use whenever talking about a front, but you know what I mean. There's that leading edge right there. There's your middle part, and there's the back side. So if I say middle part, that's really what I'm referring to. So yeah, I apologize. I couldn't think of any better word to describe it. So there you're getting that leading edge, those light showers still starting to form around Montgomery, Webster, and Clay and Monroe County by 9 a.m. Those heavier sections in the middle part, basically going to be Grenada to Yalobusha, all the way up north and east into Alcorn and Union County as well. Those showers do continue to trend in that southeast direction, and by 10:30, basically covering the large portion of North Mississippi. Now, the heaviest sections will still be this edge right along Lee County by 10 a.m. and then by noontime, those heavier sections move into Monroe, Oktibbeha, and Winston County. One note with that forecast is out there towards Chula and Hollandale, getting some of those yellows showing up. Not expecting any rumbles of thunder with this, but some brief heavy downpours, not an impossibility. And I think that's what we're seeing down there towards Holmes County. So that's going to be noontime. But then we get into our afternoon forecast and watch these scattered showers that start to develop on the backside. There is a little bit of a lift to them, allowing for some deepening, for potentially some heavier raindrops. And that's what we're getting around Grenada County by 3, and of course down around Holmes and Sunflower County by 3 o'clock as well. But that stripe with heavier rainfall does extend into parts of Prentiss, Lee, Itawamba, and Tishomingo County, even for parts of Marion County out there in Alabama. So that's 3 o'clock, and those showers, those heavier portions, do work their way through the rest of the area. And by 6 o'clock, the vast majority of those rain chances are out of the area, out of our forecast, and out of our minds forever. But high temperatures, they're going to be limited based off of that moisture in the forecast. So we start more mild than where things have been, but we end cooler than where things sat today. So 50 in New Albany, 51 Tupelo and Amory, 50 right around Hamilton, Alabama, and 51 Cleveland and Clarksdale. So not bad. Pretty seasonable for this time of year, but that's limited by that moisture, of course, with our forecast. So take Futurecast into your Wednesday night, and as you can see, a northerly breeze, and I'm going to call them northerly gusts, are pushing into North Mississippi, and that's going to push all the moisture south and leave us with a much drier pattern by 8 p.m. on our Wednesday, and that just continues to get drier as we get into those overnight hours. So for folks looking to make any plans, Wednesday night should be good to go as those showers work their way on out. So don't let the rainfall fool you. It will not be lasting all evening long. It's just primarily going to be a daytime threat. 10 p.m. you can still see those breezy conditions overhead as high pressure moves into the area and that ridging pattern moves into North Mississippi. So 3 a.m. on our Thursday, still getting that northerly breeze in the forecast. And as we get into those early morning hours of our Thursday, we are talking about a really cold forecast. Temperatures getting as low as 23 degrees in Senatobia, 22 Holly Springs, Water Valley, 21 around Bruce, and 24 Starkville, Columbus, and Louisville. So folks, keep those layers around. You will need at least 2, 3, maybe even 4 by the time we get into our Thursday morning. And this isn't even factoring in wind chill. Wind chill will easily take these temperatures into the teens. So all the more reason why you need to find ways to stay warm. Thursday at least stays on the drier side with plenty of clear skies over the top in North Mississippi. So no need to worry about any rain gear on our Thursday forecast. We're shaping up to be a good one if you can withstand the cold. By noontime, still with those clear skies overhead, northwesterly breeze pushing into the region. And so that wind chill kind of going to play a factor all day long because those temperatures just aren't warming up too much. I mean, if we get into those Thursday evening hours, it is still going to be a calmer forecast and those winds calming up as well. But now the wind's starting to shift to more of a southerly direction in the hopes that it warms us up heading into our Friday forecast, and that moisture helping to potentially warm us up as well. But warm, relatively speaking, might be a degree or 2 difference than what we'll have on Thursday. Look at those Thursday high temperatures, 39 degrees in Tupelo, same thing New Albany, Oxford, and Holly Springs. We jump up north into East Corinth, Iuka, and Red Bay, 36 degrees with Boonville around 37. The rest of the area, 42, Starkville, Eupora, and Columbus. Same thing for Greenwood, Belzona, and Grenada, and 43 around Greenville. It's not going to be warm at all. In fact, these temperatures are our low temperatures heading into Wednesday, to give you a little bit of a perspective on how things will feel. But of course, that wind chill going to make those high temperatures even feel a little bit of a dip. So that's why we've been emphasizing find ways to stay warm, because this is going to be that extreme, that dangerous cold that we get in the end of this week. So as you can see, Thursday high temperatures, they're going to be that cold that they're not even on the graphic. By Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, we're going to be sitting in the low to mid 40s for high temperatures. So that cold not going anywhere as we get into that extended pattern either. And as you can see on low temperatures, Wednesday is the best day of the next 7, with Thursday sitting in the low 20s, Friday mid 20s, Saturday upper 20s. That's the best day. It's going to be a hard week ahead. And then as we get into early parts of next week, you can see just how cold we're talking, with the low 20s going to be in the forecast. So hope you guys are ready. And I know that there's a few folks that are saying they're team snow or team no. And I know my wife is on team snow. She always asks me, it's like, when is it going to snow? Is there any snow in the forecast? Some models are trying to hint at it in the extended pattern, but it's the models that are always flip-flopping on their thoughts in regards to how things will happen. So not exactly verifying those chances. And other models, the more consistent models, are showing a very dry pattern. So it's unfortunate for all of our snow fans out there, our team snow, because it seems like it'll be more of a team no going into that extended pattern. Of course, we are keeping eyes on it behind the scenes, but as you can see on our 7-day, no chance as we get into that extended pattern. Our best chance is still for Wednesday, and all of that is going to be rainfall, because we start in the 40s and we end in the 50s. At no point is it going to drop below freezing Wednesday. So yeah, it's unfortunate. I know for Team Snow, and I'm bumming for you guys, but at least we get to drive to work, and at least we get to not have to worry about hazardous conditions, right? Of course, Monday is going to be MLK Day, so we are going to keep eyes on that forecast as well. But I know some students are out and some teachers, you know who I'm talking to, are out for Monday. So excited about that. All right, coming up in the next 60, I'm sorry I was gabbing a little bit, but what we're going to be talking about here in the next 60 is going to be the atmospheric setup, how things are set up, why they're set up in that way, and what that exactly means for our forecast. All of that coming up on Mississippi Live Weather at 6 here in the next 60.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff.
You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
People tell me how lucky my daughter is to have been adopted. But really, we're the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
What I thought was a complete life was nowhere near complete. But it is now.
Learn about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org.
We'll continue to take a look at that extended pattern. We're watching a busy Wednesday for rainfall, but then a cold setup heading into the latter part of this week. So overall setup, what we're having is that we're basically tracking two systems. So bear with me as we track both of those here in just a moment. But what you have is this upper level system that's tracking its way across the Gulf Coast and then up the Atlantic coast as we work our way into Thursday and eventually Friday. And that upper level system brings rain all the way across Florida. And that's actually what's bringing a few of these isolated showers to southern Mississippi tonight in advance of that frontal system. But the big weather maker, that's what's going to be happening on our Wednesday. And as you can see, that upper level track continuing to dip in that southeast direction before it carries up there towards the northeast out of our lives and carrying a lot of that moisture with it. But unfortunately, it is going to bring some rain to parts of the southeast, including North Mississippi. And I know it says snow, but that unfortunately is going to be for folks up there north into New York, Pennsylvania, and Ohio. So if you want snow in the forecast, if you are on Team Snow, just convince your significant other to take you up there towards the northeast. And there's your white forecast, because Mississippi not exactly shaping up to be the Team Snow on this one. It's definitely more Team No. I think I've said that more than I ever thought I would in my life, more just in this broadcast. What we're also tracking, and this is the big story I will say heading into that extended pattern, is going to be the wind chill. I mean, take a look at that Arctic air that's being pushed in from Canada all the way towards the Great Lakes, then into the Ohio Valley, and then of course all the way south into North Mississippi. And as you can take a look, that air behind the low pressure center, that's what's going to be moving in from Canada, allowing for those wind chills to be a factor. So looking at some of those tails on those wind barbs, that basically shows you how breezy those conditions will be. And as you take a look at this forecast, yes, ours is going to be cold. Ours is going to be sitting in the teens, as you can see, based off of that light blue that's showing up. That light blue, of course, just under that freezing mark, but we expect it to be in the teens. But as we work our way north, wind chills sitting below 10 degrees. By the time we get towards the Great Lakes, we're talking about below zero in regards to how it will feel outside. So extreme cold up there. So you know what? I just said convince your significant other to take you up towards the northeast. No, don't, because that is not a forecast I don't think anyone wants to be in. Snow or no snow, that's miserable. And I know I wouldn't want to be a part of it, and so I'm not going to tell you guys to be a part of it either, because that is a cold forecast. But of course, we're getting that cold here in the southeast. As you take a look at this temperature setup, that ridging pattern that's going to be pushing in, bringing in these northerly winds that's allowing for this cold air to settle in, and that jet stream dipping also allowing for that colder air to settle in as well. So we'll look ahead over the next 3 days. You can see that that upper level low will work its way with all of that moisture through on your Wednesday. And as we carry that over into our Thursday, all of that moisture does push up there towards the northeast as that polar jet carries this system up there towards Maine and the eastern parts of Canada. What we're getting though on the backside, you can see how strong these winds will be. Unfortunately, not bringing any snow with it, but we are getting that cold air that will be paired with some of those snow totals up north. But yeah, we're just going to be a dry and cold pattern, unfortunately. So we'll look ahead. As you can see, with that cold air going to be settling in, this is, of course, working our way into our Tuesday and Wednesday, and all of those northerly winds that are cycling in some of that colder air, that's going to be back behind that cold front as high pressure moves into the area. And as that dip carries up there towards the northeast, that's going to be your frontal system and all the air back behind it cycling in there from Canada. So it's going to be very cold air, and we'll get to enjoy that heading into our Thursday and our Friday. Tonight, as mild as it'll be over the next 7 days, 47 degrees by 8, 42 there closer to midnight. So I hope you guys enjoy it, because things are definitely changing in that extended forecast. Of course, we'll have every detail of that coming up at 10 o'clock tonight for what to expect with the cold and what to expect with those rain chances. We encourage you, if you have not done so already, to go ahead and download that Mississippi Live Weather app, free and available on iOS and Android. I know there's a few folks joining us in the chat. If you do have any questions, feel free to join Facebook chat at any time and ask those questions, especially during severe weather. But if you're just tuning into the broadcast, go ahead and download that app today and just support us here on Mississippi Live Weather. We thank all of you who have supported us on this journey so far, and 2026 has been just continuing that blessing into the new year. So we hope that you guys are enjoying the product that we are putting out, because we are enjoying giving you that forecast and giving you what we have here at Mississippi Live Weather, and we're just very grateful for all of that. Our next broadcast happening at 10 o'clock tonight. Can't wait to see you guys there, and why you need to tune in, we'll have the latest model runs on those rain chances for your Wednesday, so don't get caught off guard. We know it's going to be a soggy forecast for some as we head out the door. We'll track who those are and how long those rain chances stick around for. Tonight at 10, we'll see you there.
Growing up, Gabe was naturally curious. When he began to discover weather, Gabe just didn't want to know what was happening, but he wanted to know why it was happening. Gabe became fascinated with tornadoes, and it impacted his life. He wanted to pursue a career in meteorology. Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.